Namaste, angels. This is going to be a client reading for one of my regular repeat clients. And I'm doing this reading on a full moon. You have to pardon all this dust. I have a lot of dust. It's because I have like a Trinity incense today. There's 3 sticks on this incense, but it's only one. I've begun to break it slightly. You can see where it's cracked. It was one solid piece, but I have 2 holes here, and I stuck like one of each of 2 of each of the 3 legs into a hole, so it started to break it apart. But it was one piece, and it's making a hell of a lot of dust, like more dust than usual. So I apologize. Ow! And now I'm burning myself. So yeah, I'm doing this reading for a repeat client. And it's funny because she ordered the reading, and then I said to her, she was, talking to me about her divine masculine. Sometimes she emails me and we chat via email. Talking to me about him. And I said, I wonder if you should have gotten a healing for him if you're feeling this way as opposed to a reading. And she said, you know what? I was thinking that same exact thing. So she purchased the healing from him, but she was still having all kinds, for him rather. She was still having all kinds of anxiety. And I said, yes, please. She was like, you think I should get a reading now? I'm like, yes, please do. So we're here to do that. I mean, because, like I said, she's one of my repeat clients, and she's seen time and time after again and experienced the connection, come out of separation and things like that, just like maybe the card said or something. And then everything will be fine. But when we go back into it, we lose our faith. She's not alone. It happens all the time with all of us, all over. We begin to lose our faith. Like, is it still connected? So that's why we're here to do her reading. I don't remember anybody's zodiac sign or anything, although I wouldn't be surprised if air was involved, because I said there's anxiety involved. As far as the cards, I saw a lot of earth, but that could just be because of the Taurus full moon today, because I'm doing this reading. It's actually right now 3:21, and guess what time the Taurus full moon was official, at least in my time zone, Eastern Daylight Time, 1:23. So now it's 3:21, the like mirror opposite. So yeah, we should have a lot of really good energy with which to do this moon. I'm beginning with mature woman. She may be older than her divine masculine. This may be a time for her to exercise some maturity, in terms of that may help her to be more patient, perhaps, more logical, maybe less emotional. We can tend to get that way with age sometimes. In any case, opening also to family. And this was one of the concerns, the divine masculine, like returning to his family, perhaps, even though, there's already a divorce and living in 2 different areas, 2 different states. They've appeared to her to be coming back together. Maybe this woman is from the family. Maybe she's older or something, or a more reserved or conservative type. Family. And opening to beauty queen. So this is about feeling good, looking good, feeling good, just enjoying life. And Ice King can be good because, well, for one thing, he comes through to me as the planet Mars quite often. And that would be like the god of love, like, where Venus is the goddess of love, the planet, the female planet of love. Mars is the male planet of love. So it could be positive in that sense. I'm not really feeling sometimes I look at this card and I just feel so like overburdened by it. Like the guy is so on it, is so like aggressive and whatnot. And he's standing here with this lion. So Leo comes through too, not just Aries. And then of course, as being the ice king with all the ice stuff, the air signs also come through. Like he has no emotion, maybe. He's just cutthroat, right? With those swords. Family. And one more. Brunette female, upright. So this could be the karmic. The ex-wife. And she's here opposite the family. And now on top, I'm going to cut. Somebody may be that wallflower type. And I've come to past love. And we can see that past love has caused a heart to break apart. This can be either of them. I particularly wasn't surprised when she was telling me this, because also this fell into the period of where I was saying there's going to be a lot of like quote unquote breakups. They're not real breakups because the connection always remains. But breakups even among the divine couples, that the divine masculine, in many cases, the reason for the breakup, ultimately, even if he doesn't know it, even if it's subconscious, is going to be so that he can go back and handle some, karmic business. And so maybe attempting to recapture things with his family, his ex-wife or whatever, is part of that business. But again, she's not alone. This is happening all over the place. In any case, the overall energy is gifts, which is very positive. And for one thing, this could be spiritual gifts, because she had purchased first the Divine Light Cleanse for herself and began to come into her own spiritual gifts, suddenly having very lucid dreams and while awake, beginning to experience things she wasn't used to of the spiritual nature. So that can be what this gifts is about. Divine couple. Oop, well, you know what? 2 cards. Divine couple. The recent past, the near future. The masculine's higher self. Blocks to the union. What the feminine can do, the masculine can do. Further advice from the universe. I think I was going to say Buddha, because the woman, it's not Buddha. It is Maitreya, like I thought it was. I'm going to have to reconfigure this. He's taking up more room than I realized. The outcome. Okay, 2 cards here. How perfect is this? This is exactly what I've been saying to her. Now, you guys saw me shuffle those cards, cut those cards, and lay them there. And 2 just happened to fall out for this. But it's true love coupled with short-term heartbreak. And so basically, we get in here because this is what I told her was happening. That the connection remains. It's still real. But, there's a temporary pause in order for, some healing to happen. In some cases, it's not healing as, the way that we think of it, like a physical thing. In some cases, it's healing of karmic issues, and that involves exes and, issues from our childhood with our parents and our siblings. And it's just stuff that the other partner has to stay out of and back off from. The recent past. Long distance. So this is the separation. The true love suffered a temporary heartbreak that caused separation. In the near future, mature woman. So maybe this is indeed my client. I mean, it could still be either, but I felt that it was her at that point, that it's the near future. So, and the masculine's higher self here, courting man. So he'll be back. He'll be back showering his attentions upon her like he always had. And, you know, like will thereafter. Blocks to the union. Blonde female. I think this is my client too. And she's standing in her own way. She, like, even looking into what's going on with the masculine is a block, because we're supposed to have that faith and confidence and trust instead. Not, you know, going around being like secret squirrel and spying. So I think this is her. She has been a block to herself and to her own union by like the demonstrations of the lack of faith. But, you know, that's not a slight against her. That's just, you know, speaking what I see and what I believe to be the truth. But that's what we're working on. That's what we're working on with, you know, toward her healing. So we'll get there. Further advice from the universe is mature man. This can be Mars now. Because this too reminds me, and this guy tends to bother me as well, but is not so much either. It can also be the divine masculine, and whether he has a tendency to be a mature person or not. This is further advice for both of them, and it could be calling upon both of them to, yes, listen to your heart, yes, listen to your intuition, but like as a mature person, whether they're mature by age or just behavior or both, would be expected to do, like, employ some logic too with those emotions and other means of information gathering and coming to your decisions like a mature person. Like they both be guided to do that. Perhaps by Mars, the male planet of love. What can the feminine do? Past life. So she's going to heal her own past life issues and allow the masculine to heal his. What can he do? Follow his heart. Be true about what he's passionate and who he's passionate. He'll find his way. This, again, is only temporary. Outcome. Young female. But notice the red hair here too. And this can very much be the same person. This can be guiding and saying too that the mature female, the feminine in general, could also lighten up. And that's going to help the connection to, or the two of them in the 3D, in the physical, to be able to come back together as well. I just heard daughter too. Like this can, not that that's the only read. Like what I said, I'm leaving that can stand. That all of these, although they look different, represent the divine feminine here, but that as a dual meaning, that this can also have something to do with a daughter. I don't even know that the masculine has a daughter. I know he has kids. One may be a female or a feminine. We got to get used to that too. Like, we are all androgynous on the inside, and some of us male carry more feminine energy, and some of us feminine carry more masculine energy. And this can be true even in children. Okay, so yes, remember the overall energy here was gifts. Use them, I think, is a big message from that spread. So now I'm going to do, that was like from the universe's perspective. Now I'm going to do one from what's going on in the masculine's head. And the first thing that popped into my head just now is that maybe this one isn't going to be as pretty, right? As definitive as that one. This is true love with short-term heartbreak, that the universe gave us. Maybe this one is going to be a little bit more, because this one is from the masculine. It's going to be his higher self or subconscious. But it can be his current dimensional level of consciousness as well. And if he is in a different place and dealing with different things, and maybe not so much focusing on the union, that may come through. Okay, so I'm beginning though, however, with tantric union. So you've been having all these lucid dreams and stuff. This can very much be about communication in the 5D. And opening to divine guidance with a big full moon here. And how coincidental is it that you are getting your guidance right now? I am employing the divine to provide it to us. It is infinite. They never cease to help us whenever we ask, and it is under the full moon. Tantric union and blessings from Mother Mary. Beautiful. She could be blessing you with those 5D messages and visions and things, dreams. Also here to remind you that we all have a guardian angel, at least one, to protect and guide us on this journey, and you are never alone. You might need to get further into meditation as a means of healing, and it has to be in full vulnerability. No, you don't have to get naked to do your meditation, but this woman's nudeness is symbolic for me of how deep into surrender she has gone. She is completely vulnerable. Her eyes are closed and she has no clothes on. So anybody could approach her right now. She would have no idea. She's taking that. She has the faith that she's going to be fine, the confidence that she's going to be fine, that she doesn't need to watch her own back. The guardian watches it for her, right? That guardian angel watches it for her. Tantric union and answered prayer. Tantric union. We've had some prayer too. I asked on my page that we pray for this divine feminine. And she has been participating in praying for others. Every day I post a different name. Divine guidance is back. Because again, it never leaves. It's always available to us. It is infinite. Overall energy is transmutation. And the first thing that screamed out is fire sign. So I don't know if somebody's a fire sign, but I definitely heard that. Fire sign. And that can be in part also why we saw that red hair in the last spread too. A fire sign. Whether it is or not, whether that's involved or not. Because remember the Ice King showed up, he had the Leo with him. Whether that's the case or not, transmutation is about like the rise from the depths. And it's about taking all the negativity, even your own, like your own regret and resentment and lack of confidence, all these negative emotions, right? Lack of faith, and like boiling it all up together and, kneading it and manipulating it like dough for bread until it is turned into love, right? We transmute all the negative energy to love, and that helps us to ascend. And this again would be about connected to your gifts, right? As we ascend, we come into a better connection between ourselves and the higher realms. And that those are our gifts, or that is a gift in itself. So this is the overall energy, and this will be you about you. You only get one card this time, just one that fell out. The masculine about you, about himself, and about the union as a whole. Then some overall. What the masculine would have you do specifically, this is him, his thinking, or like I said, a level of his consciousness saying, I'd like her to do XYZ toward fixing this. This is what he is willing himself to do. What the universe would have the two of you to do, and the outcome. Feminine, about the feminine. More meditation. You know you need to do this meditation, and you need to do some listening to the universe, to your intuition, to the messages, and stop trying to find out this information yourself in the 3D. Right? The universe doesn't need your help to discover what's going on. You know, it knows, and it will share with you what's meant for you. And what's not meant for you won't come to you. So I said I felt somebody was probably an air sign, likely my client, because of the anxiety. This card speaks Aquarius to me because of this star here shining down on this person. But it can be connected to the messages of answered prayer as well, and blessings as well. The masculine about the feminine, he's afraid. He's afraid. And he sees her, that she's afraid too. He's afraid because she's afraid, as well as what I'm getting. He's just like, how can this work when like she's freaking out? I guess like he's seen the anxiety too. Maybe even when things are going well, there are these little bouts with anxiety. And in the 3D, he can't conceive how a relationship can survive under those conditions. Masculine about himself, however, moon tree. Wow. Okay. So, like I said, I've read for this couple over and over. We've seen the signs and evidence of what type of union it is for which I'm reading. And I didn't think that today would be any different, nor did I worry. So that's why, like, I don't have to look up people's past readings to see what I told them and what's going to happen. A fresh one is fine with me. And I think it helps sometimes because then they get to see, especially when they are maybe anxious, they get to see, oh, I'm getting the same cards, right? Despite the fact that we started completely fresh, I'm getting the same messages again about my union. It is true. So he's seeing himself as the divine masculine, as her husband. Moon tree is a card of sacred marriage. It's a card of sacred marriage. It's a card of, it represents the marriage between heaven and earth and between two sacred beings. So there we have that. And the union itself, creativity, with more Aquarius and some water sign. So that this may be an air and water combination. Or, like I said, I felt fire too. It could be sun, moon, and rising coming into play as well. In any case, this card does speak Aquarius and Pisces to me, and is often chosen by these divine masculine to represent the union as a whole, because it's about the need to come up with creative ways to explore their passions as a couple or as individuals coming together. And it's also about the co-creation of whatever their, union will look like. Overall, expectancy. Gotta let go of, oh, my Trinity incense is gone. He's all done. Gotta let go of our expectations of things like looking and being a certain way, like there's some sort of cookie cutter or model. And I know that there can be talk sometimes that there is, that this is the way it's supposed to be if you have this kind of, and then it's not true, it's not true. Everybody is co-creating. Everybody is their own, life. Yes. But for a few nuances that make our stories unique, a lot of us share the same like underlying life template. It's like this. It seems like there's only like a few different life templates, and then they get slightly adjusted, and made unique for each of us. But a lot of it the same. That's how we're able to resonate with each other's stories and things like that so closely. But the union doesn't have to be like this quote unquote twin flame thing that somebody channeled and said that this is how it goes. So we have to let go of those expectations. They are false notions, and they limit the universe in what it can and or is willing to do for us. Like we block our own blessings. Like I said, the woman was standing in her own way in the other spread. That's what that means. That's exactly what this card means. Blocking your blessings, standing in your own way. What would the masculine have the feminine do here? Okay. Continue ascending, trying to be always nearer and dearer to the universe, and trying, with him to, coupled with him and in unison with the universe, trying to be a Trinity. Maybe that's why I had Trinity incense today. Trying to become one with the universe as a couple. And it's a lot of the same colors as the fear. How awesome would it be if you could exchange this for this? That's what he'd like you to do. What is he himself willing to do? He continues to rise. He knows that it's a healing period. He welcomes it as a healing period. And he continues to rise and to allow for the healing. This is like, again, full vulnerability, full surrender, and then seeking the light. Not just having it sort of find you, seeking it consciously, wanting the healing. What will the universe have the two of you to do? Let go of your baggage. And this screams fire sign too. Let go of your baggage. Let it burn. All the regret, all the sadness, the fear, the pain, the resentment, like all the negative emotions I talked about before. And only take things like golden memories, things that made you happy, into the future with you. Leave all the rest behind. That's what you're going to have to do in order to move forward. That's part of standing in your own way, holding on to this old baggage. They say, like, if you take bricks from your old home, take the bricks and you bring it to your new home and you use those to put up the new home, then, you're basically rebuilding the same house. You don't want to rebuild the same relationship with, of the past that you had with him or anybody else, if it was a failed and unfulfilling and a relationship that lacks something, or they brought you pain, or they caused you to have some of the fears you have. You don't want to make that into your new relationship. So you got to let all that stuff go. And the outcome here, Guardian. So we came, full circle with that to remind you that in doing this, and this is another card with these same colors again, in trying to approach this and to let go of this, you are not alone. You have help. And it's also no wonder I'm beginning with the 9 of air, which can be about anxiety, worry, sleepless nights, right? The inability to get rest because your mind is always going. Expecting the worst. This is that standing in your own way too. Self-fulfilling prophecies. Sleepless nights. And opening to the 7 of air. This is the joy stealers. But look at the 21 standing up there. That's the world. That means the universe is stepping in to fix this problem for you. Because, maybe you've had opportunity, the masculine has had opportunity, the two of you together have had opportunity, and there's just been some things that you have not been able to let go on your own. You've known you need to, you've known you should, you've known you have to, all this kind of stuff. You've wanted to, but something kept pulling you back in. So it helps you the universe steps in to help you to be eased out of those situations, circumstances, relationships. And it can be a situation that would steal your joy if you remained in it. Nine of air. And the 6 of water. Memories from your history or childhood, issues regarding children, and romanticizing the past. So this can be, that daughter before, that might be the feminine also. It could be something from her childhood. It doesn't have to be the masculine's daughter or her daughter. It could be her. She is somebody's daughter too. And as a child experienced something that is in part causing the standing in your own way behavior. The 6 of water can be saying the same thing. It's also like the past life relationship card, soulmate card. And yes, a card that shows up when there is a situation with children or from our childhood. Nine of air. And the 3 of air. It was in reverse, but there are no reversals in this deck. But the fact that it showed up upside down could mean something. Great sadness. Take time to heal. There's a need to forgive yourself and others. I think definitely yourselves. There's a need to forgive yourselves. We've seen the 3, the 7, and the 9. The 5 must be around somewhere. But I've come to the Page of Earth. Scholarly, dependable, patient, and successful is the Page of Earth. Good news about financial matters. Wanting to do something more challenging and a new area of study. Somebody may be a Virgo or perhaps other Earth sign, Taurus and Capricorn. Or this again could be showing up because of the full moon in Taurus. I said Virgo first because it was the page, and Virgo is the one that is the more youthful of the earth signs. And we've come to the wheel, a time of positive change. A situation suddenly moves forward and fortune is on your side. The wheel for me represents the sign of Sagittarius, so that could be the fire sign. But also the fixed signs. So Leo, that could be the fire sign. Scorpio, that could be the water I was feeling. Aquarius, that could be the air. And also Taurus. So that could be another reason why this is showing up. Again, the full moon. Overall energy is the Ace of Water. Ace of Water can definitely be about reconciliation, reuniting. It's about an emotionally fulfilling new start. So it can be other things that make you happy too, or, like a bunch of different things that make you happy, like the reconciliation and some other thing is going your way too, maybe. Maybe you do take on a new area of study, right? You go to school or something and it's all making you emotionally fulfilled. Falling in love or the resurgence of a relationship, spiritual growth, and also enhanced intuition, maybe even a new home. That's your overall energy. I actually had meant to pick up the romance angel cards, but I'm going to go with this. Masculine is the Queen of Water. So again, Scorpio maybe, or perhaps Pisces or Cancer. Tenderhearted, empathetic, patient, and loving. I said Scorpio first because, excuse me, like the wheel, the queens tend to represent the fixed signs too. And again, of the element of water, Scorpio is the fixed sign. So Scorpio would be the queen in the suit of water. Tenderhearted, empathetic, patient, and loving is the Queen of Water. Relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition. Care for yourself and others. So this is very similar to the Ace of Water, which again is our overall energy here. Masculine is surrounded by the Eight of Water, a desire to move on. The search for something more meaningful, spiritual, and emotional growth. So those gifts, he's getting them too. And in his subconscious, the moon. So he's all watery. The moon with Archangel Haniel. This says like we don't have to know everything. And we won't know everything until it's time for us to know everything. Like when the universe decides it wants to shed some light on some issues, it will. Until such time, it won't. What's not meant for us won't come to us. But when it is ready to come to us, what's done in the dark always comes to light. That's what this card is saying. Important psychic insights. Events behind the scenes. Release fears, which we just saw he does have and believes you have. Release those fears that hold you back. Moon represents the sign of Pisces or other water sign. Cancer, Scorpio, just like these. Feminine, the Two of Earth. Too much going on at once. There's a need to make a decision and consider a more playful approach. So that energy of young female, right? Being youthful and lighthearted, a more playful approach. Feminine is surrounded by the Four of Earth. Being too frivolous or too cautious with money. Good business decisions. Giving to those less fortunate. Four of Earth, or fours in general, are about our foundations. So there could be some concern here with money. And maybe working too hard or needing to decide upon a job, going after a different job or not. As it relates to love, the Four of Earth can be like overly extending yourself or holding yourself back, like not putting enough effort into the works you need to do. The Two of Earth, as relates to it, for me is about us, continually coming back to the same darn place, like deja vu from hell. That is probably what's going on here. That's the more likely that just came to me. Feminine subconscious. Here's that energy of Leo. Yet again, strength with Archangel Ariel. Great inner strength. Release harsh judgments. Instead, exercise some forgiveness and compassion. Crowning. Here's the conflict. And it can be involving a fire sign. It doesn't have to be, but it could be. or that fire energy. Maybe that's why it keeps showing up. Competing goals, bothersome details, and conflict with others. At the root, unity, which does represent the sign of Taurus. Archangel Sandalphon. Traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations. Seek out mentors and like-minded friends. Unity is the high priest or the hierophant in the traditional tarot and represents higher institutions. It can be in legal matters. It can be marriage. He can be a teacher. He can be a priest. He could be connected to that page of earth and again, learning something new or maybe a new job, new career path. Sitting here between the moon and strength. He could very well be about the commitment. He's a 5. It's about changes that need to come or that have come to the union. This is at the root. It's at the foundation. It's crossing a 4, which represents foundations. But that means like we started with this. Like this was already going on. At the heart of the matter. Wow. Ace of Fire. An exciting new opportunity. Career advancement. Change your life now. So these definitely could have, multiple meanings and be about love and about your general life and opportunities coming your way, not just in love and reconciliation, but, changing your career and maybe doing something about which you're far more passionate. That's what the Ace of Water would represent. Ace of Fire, rather. I'm looking at the Ace of Water because that's your overall energy. The Ace of Fire is a Leo, Aries, maybe that's why the aggressive in the conflict, or Sagittarius, that youthful one. I'm going to go now to the Doreen Virtue Romance Angels, beginning with, it's safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. And opening to express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Express your love. And religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So this can have to do with our childhood. It can also have to do, this hierophant can be involved too. And it may have to do with the old marriage, for the masculine at least. And crossing the 8 of Water, like moving on, moving away from the old marriage and from the ex. That can be what the conflict is about too. You crowned by a 5 and rooted in a 5. Both can be about challenging energy, conflict, the need for change. Anyway, I got pulled away, but Express Your Love was back. I got pulled away talking about the religious factors. So the religious factors, again, can be, different ideologies and belief systems and old things that we're trying to hold on to because people say that's the right thing to do. The high priest or hierophant is also about tradition, right? So if everybody says, well, that's the way everybody does it. You're supposed to do that, even if it doesn't feel natural to you in your heart. That could be the conflict. And that would also be codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. Codependency, I'll go one more. Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So this is about not doing what other people, say to do necessarily. And instead doing what is best for you, whether, it's tradition or not. You may be the only one that wants to live and or love a certain way. Completely breaking with tradition. And that's fine. In fact, that's what you need to do because this other way of life is unhealthy. It's toxic. It is codependent. Unrequited love is not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. So again, that would be the old relationship. Overall energy, and this energy of Sagittarius coming through again. You are lovable with Cupid. You deserve love. So maybe in this quote unquote triangle, one of you is an air sign, one of you is a fire sign, and one of you is a water sign. I don't know, that earth came through too. Here atop the Queen of Water, new love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. So of course the Queen of Water, all about relationships coming together. That makes perfect sense. And it can be love anew. It doesn't have to be new love. Don't panic and say, oh, but I already know them. No. Love anew, love different, because we're letting go of the old stuff in the baggage, remember? Atop the Eight of Water, keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. Atop the Moon, make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So again, the moon can be about intuition, especially sitting here in this placement in the masculine subconscious, you know, that area where he may be thinking about something, whether he realizes it or not. He's being guided to make an effort toward repairing or reconnecting the relationship. And it is suggested that he follow it. Here, for you, atop the Two of Earth, which can very well be about a decision energy. This may be an actual ex, or I feel that for you, it can also be, you know, your need to release yourself upon the world, release all that baggage and stuff, and then you come out fresh and anew as well. Here atop the Four of Earth, worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. And atop Strength, attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. So you have the strength to put out positive energy, and that's what will be returned to you. Atop this conflict, the Five of Fire, religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. I felt before I started to say it that when I said that one of you could be a fire sign, one of you could be whatever. That was because I was feeling also that one of these that's coming through may be the ex-wife. And that one of the religious factors can be the tradition of marriage, and even though they've already dissolved it, that there was something, you know, like innate, carried over from his past or from past life or from some belief system with which he was raised or whatever, that said, you know, you got to try to fix this with there again, but it's not working. It's not working because it's not meant to. It's that unrequited love. Here atop Unity, romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So you should, again, make the effort. And you should continue to put out those romantic feelings, because that's what's being returned to you with the law of attraction. At the heart of the matter, atop the Ace of Fire, deception. Someone's wearing a false self mask in this relationship. And that, too, can be connected to this religious factors and, you know, trying to make something that's not meant to work. When I was trying to pick up the deck so that I could do some clarification here, I picked up one of the angel cards as well, and it revealed the sun, which also can represent the sign of Leo. Happy happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success if you have confidence in yourself. So all of this can and will be worked out. Again, that was sitting there nicely underneath the Ace of Water. I'm going to take this next card to see if it'll help us with deception. Separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. I don't think this is you. I think this is this relationship here with the ex from which he has to separate. What's the next one? And it sits next to release the ex and crossing that. I mean, it's going to be for him. You may have somebody to physically let go too. Like I said, you may have an ex, but I think it also has this meaning for you of coming out. And if that's the case, if you do, then you know what you have to do too. You got to separate from yours as well. Like cut any remaining cords. Top that, release your ex. Yeah, like I was saying, I think this is you needing to, first and foremost, or primarily, release yourself upon the world and express yourself. And that's what it's saying. Your ex is your expression of love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. And with that, I can do your advice. I'll use these because I like using cards in order, but I only like to clarify. I like to clarify with the next upright card. Advice to the masculine, young male. So he may be guided to be a little bit more youthful too, if he's not a young male already. Or even if he is, he may be one of these, like a Scorpio, that acts like an old male, you know. So he would be guided to be more youthful and lighthearted as well. And you're getting an energy of a karmic male surrounding you. So maybe, again, you do have somebody with whom you need to cut cords and release from your cipher. It can be from your past, can be from past life, can be from both. It's lingering and it's holding you back. Aww, the masculine, not only working on healing consciously, but with Jesus. How awesome is that? The divine healer of all time and the divine masculine of all time. So nobody better to work with. You're going to continue to, while these things continue to be worked through, because this separation will in part, yes, be for you. Although that's not the overall, the real meaning I was getting. It's it's about separating from these other things and people and places that have been holding you back. But in the meantime, while you're experiencing some, because remember that short-term break and heartache through which you were going and need to go, you continue to receive messages and dreams and things like that. For the masculine, the star, which again represents the sign of Aquarius. Happy times make positive, optimistic, long-term plans. Very similar to the sun. You've seen both now. Yeah, and the moon. You've got everything. I mean, stuff is going to be coming to light. Your wishes are going to be coming true. Things are going to get better, basically. You're on the right path. Make long-term plans. This can also be about communication via like electronic means, text, email, stuff like that. For you, the wheel is back. A time of positive change. A situation suddenly moves forward and fortune is on your side. That can be with regard to love, with regard to your finances, material things, everything just getting better. That's what it is. And from the romance angels to the masculine, as I say, finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. Could be very much connected to this too. A lot of the masculine, you've heard me say, I'm sure, in the collective readings, a lot of the masculine feeling stuck because of, you know, an ex-wife and or children or some other situation into which they have to contribute financially, and they just don't know how to do it all. And lastly, for you, just like showed up in that spot in the first spread with the short-term heartbreak card, true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. So I hope you feel better, and that this, will give you the confidence and faith to push you through to the next phase. Because today is about endings, right? This full moon. We're letting go of all, the crap that was holding us back and entering a new phase and new love and new situations that are far better with happy outcomes. So I hope that this will help bring you some solace in, allowing you to approach all that with open arms. Namaste, Angel.